episode 59 of Psychotic and Iconic. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in tonight. Paul's here along with my co-hosts Nick Theories and Mikey P. Hold it up.
You gotta be better.
You're
gonna be better, bro. You're not in Jamaica anymore.
Huh?
You're not in Jamaica anymore. You gotta be better.
My bad, dude. Well, I know. I can't help that, you have Virgin Mobile for Wi-Fi. That's not my problem.
I don't.
So anyway, guys, we are here for episode 59, 15 minutes late. Better late than never. Tonight's episode is going to be electric. I promise we're going to make up for it for our difficulties. If you're tuned into the live stream right now, please share it. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget to follow, like, subscribe to all of our platforms. With that, Mikey P, take it away, finally.
Let's go, fellas. Sorry about that, everybody. We're going to get right into it to make up for the lost time, okay? Tonight's episode, Psychotic and Iconic Sports Podcast. It is brought to you by Prize Picks, your home for daily fantasy sports. New users who sign up for Prize Picks today using the promo code ICONIC will receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Promo code ICONIC. You already know that. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. Also, check us out live right now on propshq.com, the Props Network. All right, subscribe to us there. Keep up with all of our news. And lastly, we're going to get into a little bit more than football tonight. We promised you, we're getting back into all sports tonight. We're back. We're starting off with the NBA. Pretend that you're hearing the NBA music in the background, okay? NBA trade deadline. Let's go. All right?
Yeah, you're going to hear our beautiful voices.
Bro, yeah. I got to be honest. I miss the intro song.
I know.
Yeah, you can hear NBA on NBC right now, can't you? Let's just visualize this, okay, everybody? All right, we have to start with the Sixers. We promised you we would. That was the news of the year, potentially. Not just the NBA trade deadline, but this whole year of sports. That's how crazy this was. Earth-shattering news. The Sixers trade Ben Simmons. That's right, Ben Simmons, okay? Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, 2 first-rounders to the Nets for James Harden and Paul Millsap, all right? Who won the deal? Because we didn't get into that last show. Who won the deal?
Bro, this is a no-brainer. The Sixers won. They're maximizing Embiid's prime. They're getting a superstar that can actually shoot and is present and not making excuses. He's there. He was unhappy in some places. He got traded. And I think he landed with the perfect team. I think him and Embiid are going to dominate, along with Maxey. He's going to get a little bit better, too, as well. Like, for me, it's just a slam dunk from the Sixers. Slam dunk, bro.
Louder.
I mean, think about it. I mean, look who the Nets acquired, bro. They have Ben Simmons. He can't shoot. And Kyrie can't even play on in away games. So, like, what are they going to do? Just rely on KD? He's hurt. So, like, I don't know, man. I think for me, it was just Sixers crushed them in this deal.
Yeah, same for me, Nick. I don't understand, like, Stephen A. Smith and all the analysts talking about how the Nets won this trade and all that. They got a player who's mentally weak. He can't be in the game. The last time he played was, like, last May, I think, or last June. And, he wasn't even able to finish the game because he can't make free throws. He couldn't make a layup on Trae Young. They traded a role player in Seth Curry, who's good, but he has limitations, and Andre Drummond, who was a backup. And, for me, I just don't understand it. And then they got a 2027 first-round pick. He's 13 years old. So I don't really understand why that even matters. Because not for nothing, but first-round picks in the NBA, they don't really matter that much when you're a quality team in contention. They really don't. I mean, look at the Warriors. I mean, did you even know that James Wiseman was injured? Not did you know, but he's not going to have a huge impact when he comes back. So to me, I don't see any way that the Nets won this. Nobody has any idea what Ben Simmons is going to be when he comes back either. You have no idea.
Yeah,
and
I do.
I like they got Kyle Korver.
It's going to be the same old song, bro.
Yeah, you got Kyle Korver showing him how to shoot free throws and all this stuff, and it's like, all right, great, but is he going to do that in a game? So there's no way. The Sixers got James Harden. NBA is a league of superstars. The Sixers now have 2 superstars. Joel Embiid, you can make a case, is the best player in the NBA. James Harden, it's James Harden. You could argue that he's a top 5 shooting guard ever. But so they're going to be great together. I can't wait.
It's really the Sixers. Come on now. I mean, the crowd that's saying James Harden is washed. Excuse me. I encourage you to look earlier in the season. I forget which game it is. You guys might be able to remember this, but didn't he put up like a 40-point triple-double or something damn close to that? Yeah. I forget which team it was, but just watch the highlights from that game. This guy still has it. He's still an MVP caliber player. Joel Embiid is the best player in the NBA. I'll say emphatically for you, Mike.
Love it.
He is the best player in the NBA right now. He is your MVP today. He is the most dominant player in the league. There's no answer for him. And now you get James Harden. James Harden. This is not some slouch. This isn't a role player. For all those people that said, hey, Daryl Morey's an idiot for waiting this long. What is he doing? He's asleep at the wheel. Look what happened. He got James fucking Harden. This guy can put up 50 whenever he wants. He can still do it.
Well, I think the reason why people were like kind of downplaying the trade is because of like he was struggling early in the year. But I feel like in any job, like if you're unhappy, you're going to struggle. Like I feel like you're just not into it. So like you're just not bringing your A game 24/7. So you'll see flashes here and there, but like I just think overall happiness matters. So for me, it's just like I feel like he's going to be back into Rockets form, James Harden, when he comes back, when he joins the Sixers tomorrow night. So that's what I think. Like the reason why everybody's kind of downplaying the trade, in my opinion. And then what's that?
They're going to learn soon.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the point of making a trade. I mean, I don't think Daryl Morey is a dummy. Like I don't think he's given up. Kudos to the Sixers. They waited, and it paid off for them somehow. Because, usually, when you hold on to something, it deteriorates after a little while. Like, Ben Simmons wasn't really appealing around the league. I mean, there were some trade talks here and there, but they all crumbled because the Sixers were asking too much. But then when James Harden became available due to his unhappiness, then it was the perfect time for the Sixers. And James Harden also said he wanted to be with the Sixers off the rip. Like, when he... Like he didn't even want to go to the Nets, really. I don't think that was his preferred destination. It was more.
He's starving for a championship. And
absolutely, he has to.
And here's the thing too, that with the Nets, this goes totally untalked about a lot. Is Steve Nash a good coach? Is he a championship caliber winning head coach? I don't know.
Well, Mike, I can tell you this. I can tell you guys this. The NBA is about 2 things: star power and fit.
Yes.
Fit. Keyword fit. James Harden does not fit with Kyrie Irving. It just doesn't work. They're not compatible. They don't play off of each other well. Kevin
they don't
Durant,
play off of each other, period.
Yeah. Kevin Durant, okay, it's different. Yeah, I could see those two working together if it was just those two. Joel Embiid and James Harden pair well together. Ben Simmons actually probably fits better with the Nets than James Harden did. James Harden's a fucking clearly better player, but Ben Simmons is going to be a better fit over there, I think, due to his skill set. So I think both teams kind of won in some way because you're getting rid of a part that didn't work. Ben Simmons is still going to play. I know we can criticize him and all, and that's fair because he showed to be fragile for this franchise. He didn't show up. But he and Embiid never played off each other well. Harden is more of a guy where, you can see it. He can shoot outside, okay? He can still drive. The spacing will be better, though. The spacing will be better because Ben Simmons works better in the paint. Ben Simmons can't play in the paint if Joel Embiid is in there. Ben Simmons can't shoot. So right. Ben Simmons can't play off of Embiid.
I actually would also disagree, though, about him playing well in the paint, because what happens when you get into the paint? What are you more likely to have happen? Fouls.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I can't even imagine what's going to go through his head when he has to shoot a free throw.
I know. I mean,
Well,
that's
you
the
gotta
thing
assume
too.
he's been working on it. Like, you gotta assume it, right? But
I mean, it's different though when you're doing it against us at the park than when you get in front of fans and you got to earn your money. He just hasn't shown that he's built like that because he like if you look at his stats and even his recent play, he peaked in his rookie year so far in the NBA. His rookie season was his best season.
Yo, and not for nothing, for the crowd that might say they lose the playmaking ability of Ben Simmons as a passer. I mean, James Harden, didn't he just show you when he went to the Nets that he is an able passer? He was trying to make it work, you
He was
know?
getting triple doubles with 50 points and 17 assists when he was on the Rockets.
Exactly. Like he can be whatever you want him to be. Ben Simmons is just a two-trick pony. He's passing and defense. You get James Harden, you get a clutch scorer, you get a guy who shows up in the playoffs. The numbers are there. He hasn't won anything in particular, but he performs well in the playoffs. You can get he can close it out, okay? Like you got two closers now. You went from having arguably zero because Simmons ruins all the spacing for Embiid in a closing situation. You have two closers now. Arguably, you could even say more than that because I think everybody's going to play better in this situation. I mean, also you can
Tobias
span.
Harris he's actually going to benefit the most because now
Yeah.
he's going to be a third or fourth scoring option instead of your second. Like, not for nothing, but Andrew Wiggins made the All-Star game. He has identical stats to Tobias Harris. The problem is Wiggins is in a better role because the Warriors have the scoring to allow him to flourish as a non-A or B option.
Yeah.
So now when Tobias Harris comes in and does that, Tobias Harris is going to benefit immensely from this trade.
And like this time he is a legitimate third option. Like he wasn't last time because Ben Simmons arguably is a 3 with the way he was playing. You know, he's a third option. So this is the first time Tobias is literally going to be the third option, and he is going to have much less attention on him. Tyrese Maxey, for that matter, being able to span him with the second unit also, like staggering the minutes and having one of these two guys out there with the second unit, you kind of lengthen your bench a little bit. But also, if you like, the thing that improved here, given that Embiid shows he could shoot outside, shoot from, mid to long range, right? The fact that he can do that now, if you want to go ISO ball like James Harden can do, you have to respect Embiid out there when he is outside of the paint. So
bro, I don't want Embiid
everything's gonna, yeah, but they're gonna run some plays, and also like pick and roll should be pretty good here. So I'm just trying to say though, like you have so many options, you have so many ways to beat teams now that teams have to respect this. You got two MVP caliber players on the court, so I don't see how the Sixers don't win the deal. It just seems to benefit them so much. And then possibly even getting a second year out of him, too. He might be picking up his option. He still has time to do that. So that's crazy.
I don't want Embiid outside the paint. Like, if there's no need for it, then why do it? If you have it in the tuck just because you need to make adjustments, then do it. But, like, if you have a 7-footer, over 7-footer, dominating the way he is, dude, like, for me, it's just like, allow the perimeter guys to make their plays. And then, Embiid's going to clean up. He's going to do what he does. And then, like, for me, it's just like, I don't understand why a 7-footer would be shooting threes. I don't get it. Like, for me, it's not to say he's not good at it. It's just like, for me, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know.
And I'm not saying otherwise. I'm just saying you have options. Like, the way Embiid is playing this year, he wants to be in the paint. There's times that he's outside the paint, but I'm just saying, like, this guy wants to dominate in the paint, and he will. But I'm just saying, like, everything that he's done this year, like, it's going to be even better. That's the crazy part, is if he's shooting well this year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just have so many ways to beat you. They're going to call ISO plays because James Harden likes playing in ISO, so it's going to happen at some point. Doesn't mean he's got to leave the paint either, but I'm just trying to tell you, like, they just have so many ways to attack a defense. They might lose a little bit on the defense end, but, I mean, they still have Joel Embiid. They kept Thibault, which was massive. Like, you keep Maxey and Thibault out of this deal, I mean, that's already a win. That's already a win.
Maxey's a baller.
Michael, you were about to say something, I think.
I was just going to say, like, Embiid, Maxey, and Harris are a nightmare defensively. And honestly, even if you take out Harris or Thibault and put in Danny Green, he's still an above-average defender for a guard.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
their defense is going to be fantastic in the playoffs. I mean, even now, but it's going to be a nightmare for players. And just to touch on like Nick with Embiid getting out into like 3-point land, like I'm with you. But now with James Harden shooting ability, Embiid will be allowed to play bully ball. He will have so much more room to work with when he gets into the paint.
Yeah,
and he won't be triple teamed anymore.
100%, bro.
If you double him, good luck, because now you have Harden and ISO. Then you have Tobias Harris, and like I said, and you still have Maxey.
Yeah,
We had that entire segment and didn't really even mention Maxey, and Maxey could give you 20.
Yo, what do you guys think of this, by the way? Since
He can.
this is news from yesterday. The Sixers signed Willie Cauley-Stein, who
Yeah,
I
I
know
saw that.
he's had a
10
couple
days.
of rough years, but he is quite the athlete. Like, that doesn't just leave you. And as a second unit guy on a team like this, on a team that is super athletic, don't you think the fit is pretty strong? Like, I kind of like that signing. I mean, I'm not trying to make a big deal about it, but having him as a second unit center feels pretty good. I mean, I want to see how it turns out, obviously, but
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a little like indifferent on it. Like I don't really. It's kind of like whatever. I mean, but him being a hyper athletic kind of is going to fit our mold in a sense. Get there. It's going to be beneficial.
the whole key is when you get to that unit. The problem with the Sixers last year is as soon as Doc puts in his all bench unit, which is ridiculous, by the way, but he
He's
tends to do
unbelievable.
that, and I don't think he's going to do that as much anymore. But I'm just saying, having a guy who is capable, because losing Andre Drummond hurts a little bit, but just
I
someone
wanted
who's
him-
not
I
going to
wanted him the most.
yeah.
I would have
It's not
rather
like-
lost Curry and kept Drummond. As crazy as that sounds, I'm dead serious.
Yeah, oh yeah, because we have guys who can replace Curry, even though he's a hell of a shooter. We have guys that can shoot. Andre Drummond, I mean, you see what he can do. He can hit the
bro, he
boards.
cleans up. He cleaned up.
He could be a point center.
He's coming back.
But no, I'm just trying to say, like, I think having a guy that can play defense and hit the boards at a high level, because the Sixers haven't been a great rebounding team this year either. So I kind of like it. I was kind of intrigued. I'm not trying to make a big deal about it, but maybe that's something though. That's the key at this moment. Like getting some guys off the scrap heap and looking at the buyout market, there might be some options there. So who knows? They may not be done. That being said, though, so now we got the longer term picture here. I'm gonna go a little facts or cap on you, okay? A little bit of facts or cap, because no one hates that. All right, the Nets will make it to the NBA. Oh my god, I almost said NFL. Let me rephrase.
That's sour, cuz.
Yeah, we're so used to it, right? The
Facts.
Brooklyn Nets will make it to the NBA Finals. Facts or cap, because they are the betting favorites right now. But we haven't seen the full unit together, so
This is cat. Because I don't think that they can beat. I don't know if they can beat the Sixers or Milwaukee in a 7-game series on the road. Hell, I don't know if Miami would cause them trouble.
Yo, Miami's fucking legit.
Because here's the thing: the Nets now are starting Seth Curry, who is a below-average defender. They're starting Kyrie Irving, who right now, if you read it, he's still gonna, even if they take off the mandate restriction, he still cannot play in New York City because of like a private mandate that the Nets fall under, a private business mandate. I was just reading about it.
That's
So
fucking
Kyrie-
stupid.
No,
That's
I know.
fucking
That's
dumb,
what's
bro.
funny. But even if Kyrie was playing, he's an average to below average defender. Drummond can't deal with Embiid. You looked at his Piston days, his Cavalier days. He can't. He has no answers for Embiid. And so I just think it's cap. I don't think they have enough. I still think that they're actually missing a forward, a wing. They're missing a wing. They have a team full of guards.
Yo, Nick, before you answer, and by the way, that's a great breakdown, Mike. Very good. I just want to point out a comment from Tom over here. He's saying, who goes to the finals now that the Sixers acquire Harden? Honest answers, no homer BS. Hold on, Tom, all right? Hold on there. We'll get to you. But, Nick, facts or cap? Brooklyn Nets.
It's cap. I don't like the way they're constructed. I feel like they're more built for like a three. They're built for three superstars. Like that's the way they built their roster off the rip, and none of them are really consistent. Like KD's hurt. I mean, he's probably like the best player in the game, arguably. So
when he's on the court.
When healthy. But like Kyrie Irving's always a question mark. You never know when he's gonna like play, sit, or have a tantrum or something. Like there's always something going on with him. Like it's amazing how LeBron won with him. But he was normal. Like, you know what I mean? But now he's like a flat earther and shit. And it's like, bro, like what? Like what are you talking about, bro? Like I don't know if I want a flat earther on my team. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. Like I think that's dumb as fuck. And but yeah, then they acquired Simmons, and I just don't think he's a superstar. Like I don't think like that. Like the Nets were built on that. So the fact that they got rid of Harden, who's a top league scorer, they didn't benefit at all. So like I don't even know how they're favorites. Like truthfully, I mean they're the 8th seed and they're favorites. Like is the East that weak? Does Vegas think the East are that weak? Like I just don't get it.
Hold on, dude. You want to know how much I don't even worry about Simmons? I didn't even mention him when I just gave that. When I just gave my
That's what I'm saying. Like they're constructed on 3 stars.
He's a total non-factor.
Well, it's kind of like a wait and see kind of thing. Like we haven't even seen all of them together. We hardly even saw Harden with the other two together. We only saw 18 games.
Yeah, it was like 12 games. Like it's just not going to work, man. I don't think, in my opinion.
I'm going cap as well because. I mean, first of all, they didn't seem to have good chemistry even before Harden got there. They got chemistry issues. They can't play well together. It's a bunch of individuals. They don't have a deep bench. I mean, they got a little bit. They lengthened that a little bit here, acquiring Drummond and Curry. But for me, I just can't count on them, and I haven't seen it yet. Like until I see it, how am I supposed to believe it? And Nick, good point, by the way. They're 8th in the standings. They're coming off of a long-ass losing streak. Like, they have a lot of ground to make up. They're going to have to travel. I mean, I just haven't seen anything from them. I can't judge that. I can't. Maybe they do work better together with Simmons there. Who knows? I'm willing to give it a chance, but right now, I know. Look, I see your face, Mike. But we have to be realistic. Like, if he comes back and is just who he is now and doesn't shoot, he was a top 25 player in the league. I'm not saying that he's like I already told you, Harden is by far and away better. I'm just saying fit-wise, maybe it does work. But until they all get on the fucking court together, we can't say shit. It's just speculation. So I'd rather speculate on a stronger team from the East since the East is playing pretty well right now. Which brings me to the next point. The Sixers will make it to the NBA Finals. Facts or cap? No homer BS, Tom says.
No homer
Just
BS?
breaking it down. Basketball only here. No homer BS. This is for you, Tom.
It's tough because to me, it really depends where the seeding lands. So I would favorite the Sixers in every series except against the Bucks. And so I think that the Sixers are, if they avoid the Bucks in the second round, the Sixers to me are a lock to the Eastern Conference Finals. But now here's the thing: they can beat the Bucks, absolutely. But I'm not sure yet. Like they'll beat the Bulls, they'll beat the Nets, they'll beat the Heat, the Cavaliers, all those teams. But I'm going to say cap right now, just because I need to see the seeding first, because I don't think the Sixers are just far and away. It's a foregone conclusion that they're going to the finals.
Bro, don't sleep on the Cavs, bro.
What did you just say?
Don't sleep on the Cavs.
Oh, we're starting this already?
Bro, they're good. They're a good team. They're a good team. I'm not saying they're going to the finals. I'm not saying they're going to the finals, but I'm not going to sit here and shit on the Cavs here, bro. Like, they're legit. I don't know why you're making these faces, dude. They're fourth in the East right now, bro. Like, I don't get it. They have the same record as the Sixers.
And the Sixers just added James Harden.
Yeah, I get it. Cool, but that doesn't mean the Cavs are a bad team. Like, they're formidable, bro. They're scary.
Let me ask you a follow-up there. Do you think the Cavs are better than last year's Hawks?
I think last year's Hawks just got hot at the right time.
So you think the Cavs are a better team?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I mean, the Hawks went to the Eastern Conference Finals, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Are the Cavs going there? Like, I don't think so. I think if the Cavs play the Bucks the first round, why not? Who's to say they can't beat them?
So you're saying, in terms of the question here, you're saying facts or cap for the Sixers then?
Oh, I'm saying facts. I don't know how. I mean, Miami's really good. Miami's legit. But, like, I'm not, like, no homer bullshit. Like, I think this is the Sixers' year. Like, they've been devastated in the playoffs year in and year out with the same fucking roster. Now they got James Harden. Maxey is kind of an addition because, like, last year he wasn't really much of a factor. I mean, you saw flashes here and there, but now he's getting more playing time due to Ben Simmons being a pussy. But overall, it's just like, yeah, like, I feel like they're in prime position to really, grab the East, and I personally think they can win it all.
Love it, dude. Love it. I
really do. I really do. Like, I'm all in, with the Sixers, but because to me, like, seeding don't matter. I feel like the Sixers are going to play the Celtics the first round.
Ooh, man, I would love to see that.
I just want to play the Nets.
You know what's funny? The Celtics have our number. It's just like, I feel like when the Sixers beat them, it's going to be like a monkey off their back, and they're going to go on the run. Rush. It's just a hunch.
LeBron did in 2011.
So true.
Or 2012.
So true.
Like, it just feels, it's like a hunch. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to play the Celtics the first round, and then they're going to, they're going to beat them like 4-1 or something. They're going to blow them out, and then they're going to have confidence, and they're just going to ride off into the finals and hopefully win that shit.
Yeah, the Celtics have been a real pain in the ass, but a lot of that was self-induced on our end too. Honestly, guys, like, no bullshit. I can't not say facts. I have to say facts. I have to. Who the fuck scares me in the East right now? Nobody. Because I like our 1-2 punch better than anybody, but the difference between this year and last year, besides that, obviously, because that is a huge deal. That's a huge deal. Just having that 1-2 punch right there. You can win a playoff series just off of those two. You can get to the Eastern Conference Finals just off of those two. But the thing about the Sixers now is I feel like these younger guys stepped up, and I think that they're a deeper unit. And it's kind of like addition. Tyrese Maxey is an addition just from maturity, just from last year to this year. I like how you just said that, Nick. Just the fact that he could do so much more. And I feel comfortable with Matisse Thybulle being able to shut people down in a one-on-one. Now, Mike, the point you made about the Bucks is a great one too, because Ben Simmons was probably a great matchup to limit Giannis.
Yes.
And that I don't know if we have an answer to Giannis on the Bucks offensive end. Like on our defense, I'm not sure how we would handle that. It would be a little bit different. It would be a slugfest kind of that series, I feel like. But
who's going to stop Embiid?
That's the thing, is who's going to stop Embiid. And that's where I keep going with this, is I just feel like he's on a whole different level this year. Like last year, I believe he was the MVP, and this year, somehow, some way, he feels leaps and bounds better. And he's always been a dominant rim protector, pause. But I feel like he's not going to be stopped this year, and I feel like he needed just that one last thing to push the Sixers to the next level, and he got it. And he got it in the form of somebody like James Harden, who I also feel like I hear all the shit about him being a bad teammate at all, and I've seen nothing but leadership from him so far. I think this guy just landed in a situation that wasn't beneficial to him, and he seems motivated. I don't want to speculate too much on the mental aspect, but the guy looks like he's motivated and wants to be there. So And you saw what he's done. Like he challenged Maxey in the game the other day to step up and be more aggressive. Like there's an energy with the Sixers right now.
Yeah.
And they already were a strong team. And they add Harden to the mix, who wants to be there. It just feels like something's different now. It already felt like it was different before, but they were missing that extra piece, and now they have it. So I'm with you, Nick. I don't just like them to get there. I like their chances. It's going to depend on who gets there, but who's to say that they can't? I mean, I don't see anyone that particularly scares me. I think they're pretty much even with all the top contenders right now. I'm not going to say they're leaps and bounds better, but they're pretty much even. So that puts them in the conversation for me.
And you know what the funny thing is, too? Like, if we were to get to the finals and we played Phoenix, it would be a great matchup. But where we have the advantage at that point, I mean, Tyrese Maxey, in my opinion, is already better than Cameron Payne. So when you lose your point guard for a minute, you know, at that point, I would say that Maxey would be more on the along the terms of, like, elite as opposed to somebody like Cameron Payne. So, I mean, you know, that would be great. And then we cause huge matchup issues for the Warriors just because of size alone. So, I mean, it's going to be, look, I hope they go. I'm just not jumping the gun because don't overlook Milwaukee at all.
Yeah, no, that's fair, Mike. I mean, they are the defending champs.
I think that the Sixers will be favored in every series they play, maybe even Milwaukee. But I wouldn't say that. But that would be the only series where I thought that we would have a chance to lose.
So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If the Sixers don't make the finals, Doc Rivers gone?
No.
Why?
Oh, I mean,
I don't, because I think that they'll give him I think that they'll give him with Harden and Embiid another year because Harden wants stability. And I think what he just came from with the Nets and how he left Houston is just, they're going to cater to him wanting stability. And I believe that he believes in Daryl Morey. And
you know
who are you really going to go get? Who can you get that's an experienced coach? I mean, I wanted Mark Jackson to begin with, and I still don't understand why he's a head coach. He built the fucking Warriors. And Steve Credit's getting all the credit.
D'Antoni buzz, though. You guys probably saw that, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I mean, they were already saying like Doc could be out the door now, which was kind of crazy. I never saw that happen. But D'Antoni waiting in the wings. I don't know, Nick. To answer your question, I would say it depends on how he coaches in this playoffs. Because last playoffs, I mean, he was horrible. No better way to put it. I think he was awful. I think the rotation was garbage. The timeouts, everything. Just from the management aspect, I thought he was as bad as you could be, especially for a veteran guy. They're going to have to, you know,
because he was garbage. I don't know what he's doing with these. I don't know what he's doing with these all bench lineups.
Nah,
I don't like it at all. I don't like that.
No, you know, quick thought here. It's funny that like James Harden, like he came to Philly to win a championship, right? Like he believes the Sixers like have like a legitimate chance. But it's funny that the team that he left is actually the favorites. Like, isn't that weird? I mean, for me, it just like it tells me that he knows more than a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it doesn't make any sense. Like I don't understand that. So I'm fading the Nets.
Nick, I love you saying that, dude, because that is so real. He knows.
He has to.
I mean, not for nothing. How do you go to war with somebody that goes into a locker room, sits in his area, and starts burning sage to clear out bad energy?
But yeah, here's the thing: like, if James Harden was missing an NBA championship on his resume, which he is, he would just suck it up and win a championship and leave, and then they has to be traded. Like, you know what I mean? Like. So the fact that he looked at the Sixers roster and was like, "Yeah, I want to be in Philly," like it tells me more than I need to know about the Nets' current situation.
We're winning a title.
That's all. It just tells me a lot of information.
Yeah, and look, I'll just be honest. I think it's going to take them a handful of games to get into a rhythm together. I can't wait to see the game tomorrow night.
Already rolled.
I mean, I could see it working out right away, but I
It's
still want to
crazy.
see it though. I still want to see it. You know, it's gonna be interesting. This is must see TV now. Every single game is must see TV. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna move us on. This is gonna be kind of like a quicker point here. I just wanted to know who was the biggest winner of the deadline, and you're allowed to say Sixers or Nets. But if you do though, tell me what was the second best deal of the deadline, and you don't have to go in depth about this. Just kind of give me like a one liner here.
So the number one is the Sixers, obviously. And then number two, I would actually say the Pacers getting Halliburton. And I know it's coming next, but the Kings were, I don't know what in God's name that trade was.
Yeah, you know what, Mike, here, the next question, the follow-up was going to be who's the biggest loser. So you can go ahead. You can explain both if you want.
Yeah, the biggest loser to me, honestly, the biggest winner outside of the Sixers was the Pacers, and the biggest loser was the Kings. I mean, you trade a second-year player averaging 15 and 8, and he's like 6'4" or 6. I mean, he's a big kid. I think he's bigger than that, 6'7", I think maybe. But and then the other loser deadline is like the Wizards. You trade Spencer Dinwiddie for Kristaps Porzingis. Like I just don't understand. Like I don't understand what the Kings and the Wizards were thinking doing that. At all. It just doesn't make sense to me. But bad franchises do bad things.
Facts.
Yo,
Cellar dwellers.
low key, a winner for me was the Bucks, bro. Getting Ibaka,
I was
Like-
going to say that too.
that's their weakness on their team. So for me, it's just like getting him is
great.
major depth right there. So they needed that much needed that. So I'll go with the Bucks as a second for me. And I think the losers, the team that didn't do anything, would be the Lakers. I mean, bro, they are garbage, bro. Like they're 4 games behind 500. Like
Be careful.
they need to make a move. Careful about what, bro? They're not even in the playoff picture right now. Well, I'm not careful. I don't give a fuck. The bottom line is they should have made a move. They failed to do so. So like for me, that's like my loser. Like because I feel like this could be LeBron's last year in LA. So my thing is they should have maximized his time there. So I think they're the losers.
Okay.
Oh man, I'll be honest with you guys. I like pretty much everything you said, so I'll throw in another one just to be different. Because the Halliburton thing is a major win for the Pacers. The Sixers are the biggest winner. I like Karis LeVert going to the Cavs.
Yes.
That's kind of like a.
Yeah, that's a good move.
I mean, what did they really lose there? They didn't really lose anything there, you know.
They traded Ricky Rubio, who has a torn ACL.
Cleveland.
Like you didn't really lose anything there. You gain an athlete like him. I mean, I'm with you with Halliburton and Ibaka as well. I was going to say Ibaka, steady veteran. All right, and then I was going to say the Lakers too. They needed to shake something up, and I know it kills you to hear that, Mike. They needed to shake it up, man. I just can't. I don't know how they can work this out. Like, I don't know how they could work this out. I really can't. Like, I actually would have been interested to see if a John Wall experiment could have worked, just because we already saw Russell Westbrook can't. And for them to do nothing is like, you're really, really counting on Anthony Davis to come back and be healthy during the playoffs. And we already know. His
Anthony
nickname is Street Clothes. We already know.
That's real shit, bro.
It's nothing about LeBron. Like, LeBron's playing phenomenal basketball as usual. So they are really counting on this guy who is consistently in street clothes to show up and be available. If he does, then you always got to take him seriously. But they're like the next question is, can they get in? I would think, yeah, right. But like with the way that they're playing right now, they're falling. They're like, I don't want to say I'm nervous because you got LeBron on this team, so they're getting in my opinion. But I'm just saying they need to shake something up. Like I'm just stunned. They did nothing. I'm stunned.
Actually was too, to be honest.
On some serious shit though. If LeBron leaves the Lakers should trade Anthony Davis.
100%. I would trade
And
him.
Russell Westbrook. I would package both of them up.
All right, so here I have a scenario for you. If you call the Celtics right now and you say Jason Tatum for Anthony Davis, who says no?
I'm not saying no. I fuck with Tatum a lot. Like he's got massive potential.
I would take Tatum, no questions asked. But I was just curious, who do you think would say no?
It's just because like he's more reliable, bro. Like Anthony Davis is always like hurt. Like you can't rely on that, and he's a big man. So like eventually it's going to catch up. It's going to catch up longer. Quicker on him than somebody else. You know what I mean? Because that's a lot of weight on somebody, and as tall as he is. So like for me, it's just like, bro, the body type for me, it's just not sustainable. So I'd rather get rid of the player while I can, while he's at the prime of his career per se, quote unquote, and get something for him, and then build from there. Like that's the best way. If LeBron leaves, like that's the thing too. He ain't leaving?
No,
bro. He always leaves, bro.
This is a conversation. Save this, because this is a conversation we'll probably be having soon enough. All right. I love that we gave basketball their time. They needed it. We needed it. Love that we have basketball back. But we have to go to the NFL. We had some topics we pushed off from last show because the Super Bowl shit was fucking fire. We had a great conversation last show. I don't know if we'll get to all this NFL stuff, actually, because we had a really good NBA conversation there. So, that being said, insert NFL music. All right, you're not going to hear it tonight. Just whatever. Anyway, some early headlines, and some of these I don't expect us to be staying on for too long. So maybe we will get to it all. I don't know. I'm going to prioritize the ones I think are most important, and if they carry over, they carry over. Okay. Sound good, guys? I think everybody's going to be okay with that. As always, everybody, please keep hitting us up in the comments, and please share our show. We would really appreciate it. Thank you, as always. And I'm trying to keep track of this, even though it's a different monitor for me today. But I'm trying to keep track of the comments. And so, yeah, please let us know your opinions on these next subjects, because these are interesting ones. We have to start, though, with the GOAT. It's inevitable. I mean, he always comes first. So, Tom Brady. We're back. Tom Brady. We're here again. I'm going to lay out, the scenario for you, and you're going to give me your thoughts, all right? Albert Breer reported there were things about the Bucs program that frustrated Tom Brady before retirement. They weren't just necessarily Bruce Arians issues. Next, you hear Rich Ohrnberger, former player, who tends to say some bullshit, all right? Let's just be real here. He likes to... He caps. All right? He says the Brady and Arians honeymoon was over. The relationship was souring. They weren't seeing eye to eye on offensive game plans. And while Arians was rehabbing, Brady and Leftwich would work on game plans. Arians would come back and change everything up. Red marker everywhere. Okay? They felt undermined, supposedly. Interesting takes here. All right? If that's true, that's fucking wild. But I guess the first place we start is, do you think it's true? Do you think there's any truth to this speculation of what happened behind the scenes with the Bucs? Do you have an alternate theory of what's going on over there? And lastly, do you think there is a remote chance that Brady comes back? And this doesn't have to be long-winded, okay? I'm throwing it out there because we are not doing our due diligence if we don't answer about the GOAT.
I'm gonna be real quick and brief, bro. Good. Why do we listen to these fucking media outlets that say shit? You know what I mean? It's a slow NFL period. Of course, they're gonna throw around some bullshit stories to create buzz, to get clickbaits. What the fuck we talking about, bro? What relationship was damaged between Bruce Arians and Tom Brady? If you looked at Tom Brady's retirement post, it was all about the Bucs. So, what is it? What are we talking about here? These people don't even know what the fuck is going on in that building. That's the funny thing to me. And do I think Tom Brady can come back? Personally, yeah. I actually do. I think there was a part of him that wanted to leave Tampa, but not due to any, personal reasons. I think he wanted to to leave because he was looking at the situation, the salary cap, and trying to retain players. They lost Antonio Brown, could possibly lose Godwin. So if he comes back, who's left? Gronk. Gronk's a free agent. Obviously, he would come back if Brady did, but they got free agents like Ryan Jensen, Carlton Davis. Like, they're going to lose some players. So he's probably looking to bow out gracefully, per se, like in a good way, and possibly come back when the Bucs get a quarterback, and then kind of maybe make a comeback and then see who's available as far as teams and seeing who can possibly give him the best chance. Apparently, there was a lot of talks about the Niners going around, so who knows, But I don't count out a return, per se.
Do you think he will, though, Nick? Like, just straight up, do you think he will? Yes or no? Right now, as of right this minute.
Yo, gut feel he's coming back.
Oh, you're back on board.
Yo, gut feel is coming back, bro. Like, I know he just announced that he's like, in that movie and stuff, but I think as time moves forward, mini camp starts, training camp starts to creep around the corner, I think he's going to get the itch, bro.
Oh my God.
I just do. Like, I just do. I feel like it's inevitable, bro.
So I just want to point out, before I pass it to Pauls, the audience is agreeing with you, Nick, as far as the reports. Tom says clickbait. Ressi says no, he is done.
Oh, okay? Come on, bro.
But we'll see. Pauls, what do you think?
Yes, though. That's to be fair.
Listen, everybody should know. Like, Nick Pasillo, Nick Theories.
Yeah, Mr.
Would know about Tom Brady. Mr. Theories over here. This is Tom Brady's number one fan, so I think his opinion might hold some weight here. Just saying. Yeah. Go ahead, Pauls.
So, no, I think it's bullshit, to be honest. Like Nick said, he didn't even mention the Patriots. It was all about thanking the Bucs organization. So I love that point. I thought that was brilliant by Nick. Brilliant work. But
yeah, that was good.
I don't know where the stories come from, to be honest. I think that Tom Brady retired mainly because of his wife and because he knows what's going on with the roster around him. But to be perfectly honest, if he does come back and forces himself somewhere else, I think that's pretty weak. I'm dead serious. I do. I think that's a weak move by him if he comes back and forces himself to a better team.
Why?
NBA players do it. He threw for 43 touchdowns. He threw for 5,300 yards. He can still perform at a high level. Why do you need the whole deck stacked? Your entire MO was built on doing more with less.
Because he doesn't have time for any other players to develop. He wants a full roster because he has 1-2 years left, bro.
Yeah, you can't win with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin if they bring him back.
I think he can, but I think he's looking at other situations. Like, I think he's probably taking a step back because he can. Like, he can,
I'll be honest.
He can do that.
I'll be honest. I don't think if they wanted to, it really all depends. Like, with Tom Brady out of the picture, things might change for these free agents that are on the team. But if he did want to come back, per se, I don't think they would have all that much trouble bringing everybody back. It would require a lot of cap creativity, and maybe they lose 1 to 2 guys tops. But really, I don't think they would have that much trouble losing people or bringing people back. So for me, I actually think he just really wanted to step away and clear mind, reset, spend some time with his family. And if the itch comes back, the door's still open right now, and he gets to skip training camp and all, which we saw, like Gronk did that before. Gronk said that on Man in the Arena. But I think Tom Brady really does care about his integrity. And maybe this is a situation where I don't want to rule out Tom Brady sitting a year out and coming back next year fresh, away from the game of football. So, as for the reports, I think Rich Orenberger's full of shit. I think that he was piggybacking here. I think Albert Breer, though, is interesting because he's pretty good, guys, and he specified there were things about the program that he was frustrated by, but it wasn't necessarily Arians. There might be a little something going on over there, but
yeah, it's
I don't want to speculate on what. Okay, I don't want to speculate on what. I think there might be a little bit of truth to that one, but that doesn't mean that's the reason he retired. I don't think that's the reason. I really do think like he might have just shifted towards family, and I as of right now, I don't think he's coming back.
Nope.
Bro, it
That's
cracks
my
me up.
guess.
Bro, these reports crack me up, bro. Like,
I
if
know.
you think about it, like, there were some, parts of the program he didn't like. All right, like, let's be real here. Is every quarterback really thrilled with the program every single day? Like, they don't have any issues here going on? You don't think Mahomes runs into some shit? Like, you don't think
True.
Rodgers?
I mean,
Obviously Rodgers does, but like, do you like? I'm sure every single NFL player goes through some things about the program they don't like. I mean,
and they
that's just
do,
what
but
it is.
the thing is that makes that interesting is there wasn't something about the program that that made him want to come back either. Like there must have been a combination of factors. It was maybe a little bit that it was more about family, but like this guy coming off of that loss that he just suffered, where he was this close with the competitive fire of Tom Brady of the past, I thought that would bring him back alone. So there had to be something besides just family that dissuaded him. And I'm not saying it's a large factor in the equation, but there wasn't something that pulled him back in either. You know, like this is a Super Bowl roster. That should be enough in itself. So something had to have contributed to this besides just family. I don't want to say it was a lot though. That's the thing. It's like it's a combination of all these factors at once.
Well, here's my thing. Here's my thing. So, like, I don't think anybody had any indication he was retiring at all this year. Like,
I don't think so either.
Like, yeah, nothing gave me the indication he was looking to retire. Not once. So for me, it's like, okay, so the way he announced it so quickly, like a week after the Super Bowl, or actually before the Super Bowl or something, he announced it. It was just like, okay, it allowed the Bucs to go find something else. So my head is saying, okay, he probably just wanted out because I'm telling you, he probably looking at other teams and saying, fuck it, I can go to the Niners and win this shit, bro.
It's possible.
I ain't gotta worry about no cap shit. I don't gotta worry about nothing. I can just go there, plug me in, and we'll go to the Super Bowl and win. So, like, who knows? Maybe he wants to be the first player to win 3 rings with 3 different teams. Like, I don't know. Like, there's got to be another goal that he wants to set out. So, like, for me, it's just like the timing of it is kind of shady because it allowed the Bucs to kind of look into other options such as Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, or whoever's available. So if they get somebody, he could be like, well, shit, maybe I can come back and see who needs a quarterback, who's Super Bowl ready right now. If I come back right now around training camp, boom, plug me in, we're rocking and rolling. But then again, a part of me is just like, he needs that, rapport with his receivers too. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I just think the timing of it was really strange for me. So like, I'm not gonna completely close the door.
Yeah, that's what's unsettling is like
it was calculated.
The mystery to it, and not having any advanced notice to this thing. So I won't put any of that past him, really. I mean, it's fair. None of us know the answer, by the way. We're just shooting the shit. So we'll see how it goes, guys. We're gonna move on. I think that we could probably get to 2 more of these before we call it a night, and then we'll carry over 2 more. All right. So next up, we would be crazy to not mention Aaron Rodgers with all the fucking buzz going on right now. Like this is some serious buzz, and we could be coming up on an answer real soon because I feel like this situation is coming to a head. So I will explain. I see you, pals. I will explain what's going on here for the people that missed what might have happened in the past week. I'm going to explain what's going on here. All right. The first thing. The Packers make a low-key move that didn't get much buzz. They bring back Aaron Rodgers' first QB coach, Tom Clements, who Aaron Rodgers credits to a ton of his success and development as a QB. He was retired, guys. Tom Clements was retired. And the Packers bring him back, okay? Interesting. Like, that's actually interesting. This is a big-name guy here. You lose Hackett, who he loves, but you bring in another guy that he loves. Interesting. You wonder if they did it for Rodgers or if they actually just did it. I don't know. There's got to be some part of it where it has to do with Rodgers. I don't know. All right, that's part 1. Part 2, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too, Nick. But part 2, and I don't know if anyone saw this, but Aaron Rodgers' emotional thank you on Instagram, kind of uncomfortable almost. It was like revisionist kind of, like, just thanking everybody for this year in particular. He thanks his now ex-fiance for being by his side. He thanks some of his closest Packer teammates. I don't think the organization got much credit there, but he was just thankful for this year. Let's just put it that way. And it was like touchy-feely bullshit, very emotional, out of fucking nowhere. He's probably just, he's playing us all. He knows what he's doing. I think he knows what he's doing. I think he's known all along. But he's playing it out a little bit here. And he knows he's got the media around his little pinky finger right now, awaiting every fucking little clue. So I think he's playing around a little bit. But anyway, these are things you got to take note of. All right? Those are the latest situations here. Oh, and he thanked the QB room, too. Can't forget that. Teammates, QB, ex-fiance, thank you so much. He had a wonderful year. It was memorable, and he just loves these relationships, okay? It's fucking crazy. Where do you stand, though? Where do you stand now at Rodgers? And feel free, if you want to change your mind like some of these analysts out there, they're already flipping the script, okay? I'll tell you what I'm thinking in a minute. But
he's gone. He's done.
Paul is sticking with it, huh? You're sticking with the retirement.
Dude. I said this the minute after he lost that game, bro. He's coming on there. Oh my God, I did a 12-day cleanse. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro?
How could I forget that too?
You did a 12-day cleanse, so you go on Instagram and pour your heart out to your ex-fiance? Like, that's what I'm talking about with these fucking vegans, bro. I don't understand it. They stop eating meat and lose their mind. They need to start following Paul Saladino. He's a great follow on
That's fucking insane, bro.
Like, I'm so tired of it. It's unbelievable, dude. This dude is such a diva, man. Everything is about
him. He really
him.
is now.
He is
a
really
diva. He's annoying.
And like I said, bro, I came around on him this year because, like, he was being really open with the media on Pat McAfee show. I was like, you know what? I can get behind him on this with whatever. But it's just like, at the end of the day, he always makes it about himself. Then in, like, the last picture, he has Randall Cobb, and he has
Devontae Adams.
Dude, my bad. I just saw Tom's comment. Nobody will understand that. But
yeah.
Randall Cobb and Devontae Adams, and he normally stands in between them, and he's not there in that last picture. And it's like, what are you doing? Why are you hinting at stuff like that just to get the media in a frenzy? If you're going to retire, retire. Make your decision, move on with it. Tom Brady retired and went about his business. That's what I don't like with Aaron Rodgers. That's why I couldn't stand him for so long, because it's just like, it's always about him. It's just always wrapped up in his shit. And not, like I said, I've said this a million times. I know he's talented. He won a Super Bowl. He hasn't performed in the playoffs at all for the last several years. I don't understand why he gets this, like, this respect is just given to him. Like, I'm just so tired of his shit. He's going to retire, though.
Bro, dude, I understand why you're so frustrated with him, but the 12-day cleanse, like, I feel like a lot of, like, the NFL players put a lot into the season, bro, like, year round. So, like, sometimes, like, when you put a lot into something and you come out, like, on the losing end, it hurts, bro, because you put so much into it. So sometimes you got to step away a little bit and kind of clear your head, because all you're used to every day was putting in the work to achieve a goal, and you didn't achieve it. So sometimes you got to take a step back and kind of, recalibrate yourself.
No, I totally understand that. However, he made this entire season about him, his anti-vax shit, and homeopathic medicine. He was never talking like this in years past. Now, all of a sudden, he goes homeopathic medicine, all natural, body autonomy, and you want to come off of another disappointing loss to an inferior team, and you're going to say, oh, what was that Instagram post about? Oh, well, I was coming off a 12-day cleanse and felt that. Did you do that? I text you and tell you I fuck with you. I text Palante and tell you I love you. I don't need to go on Instagram and thank my ex-girl. And Allie, if you're watching that, I don't have an ex-girl or a side piece. I apologize. But I'm just saying, you see what I mean?
I do see what you mean.
He found himself, bro. Last year, he was saying he stepped away. He went on vacation. He didn't talk to anybody. He was away. Like, and then he found himself, and he became more vocal, and he's just being himself, and now people are confused by it because they're not used to this Aaron Rodgers. But the fact that he feels like he's being himself, whereas like I'm sure behind closed doors, this is who he always was, but like he wasn't. He was probably more of like an introvert and to the media. You know what I mean? Like, but now he's just like, fuck it, I don't care. So I think he found himself last off season. I think and then he just started opening up about his opinions, and then he still put the same amount of work in he does year in, year out. Like, so like the fact that he lost, like I'm sure it stung him a bit, man. And imagine waking up every day working for a goal and you just don't achieve it, bro. Like that's heartbreaking shit. Like what?
Yo, hear me out.
And as far as Green Bay signing that guy that early in his career, like maybe Aaron Rodgers just wants to put Green Bay, or he wants to give that coaching to Jordan Love. Like maybe he actually really cares about Jordan Love's growth, and he thinks it would be beneficial for the Packers. Pause. So I think, like personally, I think Aaron Rodgers is getting traded, bro.
No,
like I think he's getting traded. I think the fact that like Green Bay brought back Rodgers as quarterback coach or whatever, I think that's more for like a Jordan Love kind of thing, like to give him some love for Jordan. You know what I mean? Like I really believe that, bro. Like like if he cares about the Packers organization, like he said in that post, and he cares about the organization as a whole, then like maybe he wants the best for Jordan Love and the Packers franchise moving forward when he moves on.
Interesting.
Good stuff.
Hear me out, guys. Hear me out, because there's really when I read this stuff and you follow the breadcrumbs, all right, you follow the trail, and you see, like, well, yeah, he definitely is coming off as a diva. It's actually annoying me, and I've been a long-time supporter up till this year. I love his game. Don't get me wrong, but he's kind of annoying now. So the act is getting a little stale. But I think there's two ways to go about this. And it's either retirement or he's leaving the Packers. I don't think there's any shot he's going back to the Packers at this point. There might have been a slim chance. The Tom Clements thing kind of seems like a last-ditch effort to me. So, hear me out. Like, Pauls, by the way, your video just...
My bad.
I'm gone. Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I was checking.
But anyway...
Because I'm coming up on low.
Well, we're almost done here. We're almost done. But anyway, I think that this whole cleanse thing was him saying he's getting cleansed to the Packers. No.
My God, you did not do that.
I think that he's cleansing himself of the Packers, and the post was the final cleansing. It's like he is done. He's done with the Packers. I think all along, guys, I'm not even kidding you. I think he's known since last year that he was gone. I really do. Like, I think he's known that he's been gone, but I think now it's a matter of picking destinations, and I think that he probably already knows that too. So I think he's getting traded, and I think he's been trying to follow the Tom Brady trail. I think he's been watching Tom Brady very closely the last couple of years, and he wants to be like Tom Brady. The way he has a hold over a team and just is revered in everything that he does, and he wants to come off as this, extraordinary person, larger than life media figure. So like he's drinking that water. He wants to be like he wants to look like it's cordial right now, so he don't look like a bad person. He got a lot of negative press not too long ago, so he's getting traded, and I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking with my prediction. I'm gonna repeat it here one more fucking time. I'm going to say it again, and I'm sticking with it. Aaron Rodgers is going to the Denver Broncos.
I knew it.
This is probably already done.
It's probably
already. Listen to me. It's probably already done behind the scenes. So it's just a matter of him telling the Packers, all right, send me here. Because he's going to have control over this. That was one of the things he negotiated last offseason. He's going to the Broncos. And this is the deal. I'm going to repeat it again in case people miss this. I said this on 2 different shows now. I'm saying it again. The Packers are trading Aaron Rodgers to the Denver Broncos for 2 first-round picks this year, next year, plus Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy needs to be extended.
This is cap.
And I also already said this. Not only is he going there, Davante Adams is going with him. They are not going to franchise tag him, and they're not going to sign him. I think it's Rodgers and Adams going to the Broncos. Judy heads back in the deal. It works out for him, too. He'll get extended over there. He's going to be the number one for the time being. They already re-signed Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton to long-term deals. And they're going to have to maneuver the cap a little bit to get both these guys. But they can, though. They have a lot of space right now. So, honestly, it works out for both sides. And the Broncos immediately become...
Well, here's the thing. If I'm the Packers, bro, like, I would franchise tag Adams and see what I can get for him.
Well, right now they can't because they have to get under the cap first.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and they have a deadline.
That's what I'm saying. If they had the ability to get under the cap, I would franchise tag Adams, and if I'm going to trade Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to trade Adams, and then I'm going to get 3 first-round picks and rebuild the whole fucking roster.
They said we're going to let them. They said
test the market.
The Adams test the market.
Because they don't want to overpay, and also they know they can't get under the cap before the tag deadline. They know they can't, and it would take a trade of Aaron Rodgers to be able to do so. Who's to say that Aaron Rodgers isn't just holding out this long so that they can't tag Adams? Did you ever think of that?
No, that's pretty good.
Because it's only a couple weeks away. It's, what, March 8th? March 8th is the tag deadline, I'm pretty sure. So it just seems like he knows this is a calculated move. He's a smart guy in most ways.
I don't think he's going to fuck the Packers, though, bro. Like,
he's not, though. They're going to get 2 first-rounders and Judy.
I think, yeah, I know. But, like, in terms of, like, waiting on what he decides, you know what I mean? For, like, them to not franchise tag Adams. Like, I just don't see that. Like, I think, like, that Instagram post, I think he meant that shit, bro. I think he really fucks with I think he loves the organization. Like, he cares about him. And I don't see anything, like, I just don't see bad blood in the end. Like, I think,
that's
like,
the thing, Nick.
they're going to grant him his wish. He's going to be happy, and they're going to move on. Like, I just don't think he's trying to fuck them by holding on to retirement or
that's the thing, though. The thing, though, is, Nick, is even if this whole saga ended today, you still have 2 weeks to figure out your cap situation and then convince a situation to Davante Adams, because Davante Adams could say, fuck this, I'm not going to sign, and I'm quitting. Like, there's just no way all these variables can be solved in a 2-week period at this point. They have way too many issues, and by the way, the Packers allowed for this to happen when they renegotiated terms with Aaron Rodgers to bring him back last year. So they allowed this. They knew what they were doing. They gave him this opportunity, and they know that they're going to get compensation back in a deal. So really, like, the situation, it is what it is. And I don't think there is bad blood, even if he did the most, the biggest fucking bullshit thing ever of waiting till March 8th. Like, it's at this point, this is the path that they gave him. They allowed him to do this. And like I said, it's a short window of time, and it's already the end of this week. Realistically, like, this shit just doesn't get done on weekends in the NFL. It just doesn't happen. So you got basically a week and a half to figure out all 3 of these things. I think it's just a foregone conclusion. I think the whole thing is calculated.
I'm with you, Palante, on Denver. I said this a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about the head coaching hirings, and when Hackett went to Denver, I was like, I think Aaron Rodgers could potentially go to Denver. I think he's going to go there. Like, I think
he wanted to go there before.
Yeah.
I actually think that was the team, because we've been saying it all year, that Denver is a location where you get a QB, everything's different. I think he already had interest, and then they bring in Hackett on top of that. It's like, this just sealed the deal. Everything, it's sealed to me. And I think the deal itself, the one I've been suggesting for a couple of weeks, a few weeks or whatever, it just makes way too much sense for both sides. Jerry Jeudy's not going to re-up with the Broncos. I can guarantee you that. It would have already happened. They made their choice. They made their choice with Jerry Jeudy. And he hasn't been on the field.
Yo, check this scenario out, though, bro. Hear me out.
Go ahead. Throw me another.
Two first-round picks, Noah Fant, and a 5th for Rodgers right? But hear me out. You know who's a free agent? Rob Gronkowski.
I knew you could have
What
said
if he
this.
goes to Denver, bro? Yo, what if he goes to Denver, bro? Fuck around. Look, look the fuck out, bro.
Well, to me,
What?
I think a Noah Fant would be like an after the Rodgers deal kind of thing for me. And even so, by the way, who's to say they can't have Gronk and Noah Fant? There's nothing saying that they can't. Really, I mean, Gronk's a 1-year deal. He'd be pretty easy to bring under the cap. So this is why I'm saying, like,
what makes
it's
you
all
guys
just
so
about maneuvering.
What makes you guys so confident that Aaron Rodgers is going to go to Denver and in 1 year do what he couldn't do in Green Bay the last 10?
I didn't say any of that yet.
Change the
but
scenario, bro. Like I just a change of scenery. Like sometimes some players, sometimes you need that, bro. Sometimes you need to like go somewhere else and kind of like just start fresh, bro. Like sometimes you need that. Yeah, like he found himself last off season, and now he wants to cleanse, and now he wants a new scenery. Like there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Sometimes when you take a step back and you find yourself, you start to realize things that you do want versus what you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And so, also, Nick,
I think that's the case.
Add to your point, Nick. 2 years in a row now, and this is not just teams are seeing this, but the players are seeing this too. 2 years in a row now, a quarterback has changed teams and won a Super Bowl the year with their new team, the same year. 2 years in a row. And Aaron Rodgers already looked like he was on the way out. Aaron Rodgers looks like a guy who needs to change the scenery. The Packers probably need it too. It's kind of, the act is kind of old now. And they need to eventually see what they have in Jordan Love, even though we think that he's probably garbage. They still need to see it. And they still could build a roster around him right now when they do lose these players and finagle with the cap. So they're going to need to see an answer at some point because that's just the way it is. And that's how I see it playing out. I think he's known. I really do. I think he's already known. It's the Tom Brady thing, man. It's an attractive path, what he's been doing. So anyway, I think this one's more of a quick.
You crushed him, Pauls. Like you started off hot, bro. Now you're just chilling there and like, bro.
I never thought I thought Aaron Rodgers, like, here's the problem for me. Growing up a Peyton Manning fan, Peyton Manning did nothing but get shit on year in and year out. Oh, he's the best regular season quarterback ever. This, that, and the third. It is mind blowing, dude. This guy has had the best wide receiver in football for years now. He's had Greg Jennings, Donald Driver. He had Robert Tonyan who had all those touchdowns. Aaron Jones. He's had running backs. It's just like Eddie Lacy before he gained 700 pounds. Like, this dude gets so many passes, bro, and I'm so tired. Like, he ain't all that.
Oh, come on.
Listen, Mike.
Bro, I'm not going to shit on his ability to play quarterback, bro.
He's a good quarterback, but he's a stroke artist in the history of quarterbacks.
Mike,
I
don't think he's getting a pass. I don't think he's getting a pass. And also, Peyton just had more of the spotlight. But I don't think he's getting a pass. And I also don't – I'm not telling you that the Broncos are winning shit. I'm just telling you it's an appealing situation. And, yeah, I could see it possibly. I could see it possibly happening because the Denver Broncos with Aaron Rodgers would be a better team than the Packers right now with Aaron Rodgers. The Broncos have a fully constructed defense. They have more weapons there. The only thing that's lesser is the offensive line, but you could argue that they're almost equal. The Packers' offensive line was missing Bakhtiari all year. So that's one point. Let me answer your second, though, before I know you want to say something. The second point is this. I wholeheartedly believe this, watching the guy's career and given the status of the players that you just talked about, their draft status, where they came from, you could easily argue that Aaron Rodgers made them who they are. You could easily argue that because Devontae Adams, by the way, even first half of his career, he was looking like a bust. And I'm not saying that he would have turned out that way, but Aaron Rodgers makes a lot of players look good. Because let's be honest, like Alan Lazard is probably a practice squad player. And to even make him look like a possible number 2 at points is something you could credit. Or Robert Tonyan, who was a nobody You know, like these are guys, these are scrap heap players. Let's just be honest. And I'm not saying like they don't have a future in the NFL. I'm just saying like Aaron Rodgers has made these players better. Jordy Nelson was not Jordy Nelson without Aaron Rodgers. Jordy Nelson was literally a nobody. Greg Jennings, same like Greg Jennings came in with not too much buzz. Let's just be honest here. Devontae Adams was a bust for at least 3-4 years. He was a late bloomer.
Now that is
Donald Driver, back end of his career. What I mean, you know, Donald Driver was not the same player he was before when he had Brett Favre.
I'm with you, and that's fair. But here's the thing: Aaron Rodgers is the one underperforming in the majority of these playoff games.
Fair. And both things can be true, by the way. Both things can be true, that he's not performing in the playoffs, but also makes these players better. I just think a change of scenery is it's completely necessary. That's all it is. Change of scenery. And look what it did. Look what it did for Tom Brady. Look what it did for Matthew Stafford. First year QBs with their new teams, new systems, and they win in their first year. It's an appealing path that he already was interested in. And then seeing Matthew Stafford do it, he's got to be like, damn, I should have done this last year. That's probably what he's thinking. I should have done this last year. I had the opportunity to do it. And I stuck around in a situation I didn't want to be in. He probably should have done it last year.
I feel like the NFL is starting to shift to super teams. I feel like it's kind of modeling the NBA in a bit.
Well, you know what else you're seeing, Nick?
I really do.
You're seeing here,
I feel like you're able to put together a Super Bowl caliber team just having the quarterback and a couple, offensive pieces. If you have a decent defense and you have a good defensive coach, you can coach him up to be a borderline top 10 defense. You have a chance, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of teams are starting to figure that out. And I don't know. It just feels like the NFL is kind of shifting in a way. Like, I mean, the last two Super Bowl winners were first-time quarterbacks of the new team. So, like, for me, it's just like it's almost just saying it's kind of like a replica of the NBA. It's starting to become a shift of, of way to build a team.
To add on to your point, Nick, it's not just even that. I think what we're seeing here is teams as well as quarterbacks understanding the leverage they have. Really good quarterbacks have insane leverage, but also teams realizing that, hey, all it takes for me to go from point A to point B up here hoisting a trophy is I need to bring in an elite quarterback, and teams don't have patience with quarterbacks anymore.
No.
So what's happening here is you're seeing an unprecedented amount of quarterback movement. And the quarterbacks are the reason why these teams are being created, because then players say, oh, I want to go play for this guy too. So, like, it's a combination of those factors. You've never seen quarterback movement like this before, and I think this year is going to be the craziest year for quarterback movement that we've ever seen. That's what we're buckling up for. We could be seeing 12 different jobs turn over. And by my calculation, it could be even more. You could be seeing some retread guys getting new starting jobs like Mariota and Trubisky. You could be seeing them starting this year. You're going to see an unprecedented amount of movement. And this is just, I mean, when you're mentioning these big hitters too in these conversations, you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Tom Brady, you got Carson Wentz, who's an enigma. You got Russell Wilson. You have Kyler Murray, even his name getting tossed around a little bit. Like, these are guys you don't hear about moving ever. Quarterbacks never move.
Yeah.
Franchise QBs are there forever. Teams will make sure they keep them. But teams now, they're exploring. Like, if they know they don't have it, and they know they're this one move away, they're going to go out and do it. And that's why you're going to see. I can't say the one that I want to talk about today, besides Aaron Rodgers, because we're over time, guys. We're over time now.
Hold on.
8%.
Wait, say that again? Exactly. So we're about to lose Pauls anyway, so I think that's our chance to cut out here.
I'm sorry, guys.
So I think we're going to have to leave Kyler, Carson, and Russell Wilson to next episode. I think we're going to have to. I wanted to get to one more, but
probably
I think we're going to have to.
We'll do that Monday because I got a lot of shit.
Yeah, we got 3 more heavy hitters here. We have to be fair. The sort of tech issue we had earlier in the show kind of hurt us a little bit here, so we're over time. I think that's a good place to end. All right. Let's leave the people thinking. Guys, though, I'm going to say to the audience right now, in terms of next show, now that you know we're going to be talking about Kyler, we're going to be talking about Carson Wentz, we're going to be talking about Russell Wilson, I encourage you to comment on our post or DM us what you think is going to happen with those three quarterbacks this offseason. And we'll break it down for you on Monday, okay?
Sure
Until
will.
then, though, this episode of P&I was brought to you by Prospects. See how I did that? It was a little smooth without music, right?
You have a beautiful
Your
voice.
home. Your home for daily fantasy sports. Prize Picks. All right? New users who sign up today using the promo code ICONIC will receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. That's right. Promo code ICONIC. Use it on Prize Picks. Daily fantasy made easy. Also, as you already know, we were live tonight on the Props Network. That's propshq.com. Be sure to go subscribe to Psychotic and Iconic over there. Keep up with everything going on at P&I and with the P&I guys. And last but not least, I hope you all have a great weekend and stay tuned for Monday's show. That's right. Next show is Monday at 8 p.m. And I already told you, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Carson Wentz on tap. We will absolutely have more than just that. The rest will be a secret, but buckle up, guys. It's going to be interesting. Thank you very much, as always. Pass it off to Nick Theories.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. It was a fun episode. Sorry about the music. We're going to get it back. I miss it too. But we appreciate all the love, support, and the comments. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. We are also available on propshq.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Megaphone, and Stitcher, and all that other shit. If you haven't also followed us on all of our socials on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook, and we'll see you guys Monday night at P&I, baby.